Sure. So thanks for having me. I'm Ken Devlin. I live in the Chicago area, grew up in Pittsburgh, and raising my family as diehard Pittsburgh sports fans. For the last probably 2 to 3 years, I've been involved with I Want to Mow Your Lawn. My interests are I love to be outside. So I love to play golf. I love to hang out on my patio, my small Chicago city lot. But I love to be outside. And so the opportunity with I Want to Mow Your Lawn to get out there and spend some time outdoors, help people in need, and cutting grass where I just have this tremendous feeling of accomplishment once it's done. It's been a very gratifying experience for me. That is a great question. And I was just talking with my 15-year-old son recently about if he could have any superhero power, what would it be? It wasn't tied to just mowing lawns, but he pointed out that he wanted to be Spider-Man. He wanted to be able to climb up the side of walls and be able to do all those things. And again, outside the context of mowing a lawn, I would always want to be Superman. It's not just the superhuman strength, but really his ability to fly. So when I think about I want to mow your lawn, I'd love to be able to fly from yard to yard so that I could get there very quickly and not have to deal with Chicago traffic. I probably would need someone else to transport all the equipment, but I think I'd have to say Superman for that one. My wife heard about I Want to Mow Your Lawn on a podcast, I believe, and she told me about it because she knows how much I enjoy being outside. And I'm always looking for opportunities to be able to help other people. I'm blessed with reasonably good health, and I think we all have a responsibility to help out other people in our community who might need it. And so when I heard about the opportunity, I was excited to jump in and get my first assignment. Again, I love to cut lawns. I love to help people, and this really brings together those two aspects, which are really important to me. I think the physical aspect, especially during the summer months. I live in Chicago, where a good 6 months out of the year, it's tough to get out. The weather is nice, and I can be outside, and I can do something physical, and I can break a sweat. It's very, very gratifying. The feeling that I get when I finish a lawn is I can look back and I'm like, wow, I did that. That is a great sense of accomplishment. And that really fuels me to go on and do the next assignment is sort of knowing how it's going to feel while I'm out there breaking a sweat and how good it's going to feel when I'm done and I can see the impact that I've had. It's also very motivating when I talk to some of the clients who are so deeply appreciative of the work that we're able to do. And again, for me, it takes just a little bit of time out of my day, but it makes such a big impact on them. Brian, I don't remember the first project that I did, and I think that's a good thing. I've been able to do a number of different projects, and they're all unique in their own way. So, with whatever one was first, I don't remember. But one thing that was consistent across them all, again, is that feeling of appreciation that I got from the clients, many of whom wanted to buy me lunch, make me lunch, send me lunch. And I would have to tell them again and again, I'm just a volunteer. Like I'm happy to do this. And so that there's a great amount of satisfaction that I've gotten from each job that I've done. Yeah, I think landscaping for many people is a mix of skill and artistry. For me, it's a matter of being able to walk back and forth in a straight line. And so the simplicity of being able to mow a lawn and having it look really nice really comes down to being able to walk back and forth. Most people can do that. And so that's probably something that appeals to me is the simplicity of it all, that I didn't have to think too much or exercise the right part of my brain or the left part of my brain, whichever one it was. I just had to be able to walk back and forth and I could make a difference. I really saw a need when I remember going to one particular job, and ironically, I ended up mowing the wrong lawn. And I realized it when I was putting the mower back into my van. And then I went down to the original house where I was supposed to go, and they said, "Oh, well, we contacted I Want to Mow Your Lawn a couple of weeks ago." And so I got home and I reached out and said, well, why did it take a couple of weeks? Because of the sheer volume of requests that were coming in. And I thought, well, maybe there's more work that I can do to help out here. If I can help to sort of direct some of these requests, then we can respond to them much more quickly and you do an even better job of serving the community. And I was happy to take on a role to try to coordinate some volunteers. I would go out and check the requests every couple of days or so and get in touch with our volunteers to see who might be available. It ends up being maybe 2 to 3 hours a week. It's no sweat to do that. I can kind of fit it in where around my work schedule as needed. And that's just one of those things. I am a people person. I work in marketing too, so I like to just engage people. And the more engaged I am, hopefully, the more engaged others will be. We can get more volunteers responding quickly when we make a request. Then the impact is just magnified. I remember one job in particular where I was very busy in my personal life. My son was getting ready to go off to college. It was a weekend morning where he was packing things up. I was unable to find a volunteer to take care of this one particular lawn, so I went and did it. And the woman whose lawn I cut, she invited me inside, talked to me for probably 45 minutes before I could even start cutting the lawn. I cut the lawn in whatever, an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then went back inside. She made me lunch. She wouldn't let me leave, talked to me for another probably hour and a half. And all the time I'm thinking, I have to get home. My son is going to be leaving for college soon. I need to help him. And I was driving home and it really occurred to me that the value of the service that we provide is in the lawn care for sure. But for many of these people who are elderly or may have some physical disabilities, we may be a main point of contact for them for the outside world. And the time that I spent with this person was so valuable, especially to her. And it really made me feel good about just being able to do that. Again, I'm very fortunate to be physically able to have a very supportive wife and kids that I can go out and do this. And again, the impact that it had on this person's life was very, very meaningful. And that really helped to fill my well. We talk about that a lot. It's easy to get stressed out for work or anything like that. And this really showed to be a great way to just re-energize me and give me motivation to keep going and made me eager to go out and do more jobs like that. I think the strongest message would be it's easier than you think. We are volunteers, and that is known. And so there is no pressure. It does not need to look like a golf course. It does not need to look beautiful. A lot of times, what these people need is some simple maintenance, cutting down some weeds, running over the lawn with a lawnmower. It typically does not involve a lot of extensive landscaping. The fact that it's easier than you think is a really important hurdle to overcome. I don't have any particular projects that I want to share, but I am excited as the weather turns warmer. We're able to get back out there and to continue to serve the community. And hopefully, the impact that we're having will continue to be magnified as we grow our ranks of volunteers and are able to serve more and more people. When the weather gets a little bit nicer, I always love to go out and cut grass, is because I didn't have to think. This whole movement that you've started, I forget where my wife first heard about it, but she's like, dude, you got to get involved in this because you love cutting grass. I've really enjoyed it.
Truly makes a difference. So thank you again, even for your time now. Other priorities, it's hard to balance for sure. We do what we can, right?
And that's it. And I think it's easy for folks to forget that we're volunteers. And so you show up and they're like, oh, can you help me with this railing? And can you rebuild this wall? Can you do this? I have like 4 hours on a Sunday afternoon. That's all I can do.